Dr. Zakir, go ahead.
Ameen, Ameen, and same to you. And I wish that to you also a very blessed Ramadan. And inshallah, may this Ramadan be better than the last Ramadan. And may Allah forgive all our sins and may we come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
I mean, mashallah, Dr. Zakir, you have a beautiful background. Is it virtual or is it vivid? Is this a live background?
That what you see behind is a live background of the metal mosque in Putrajaya, which is one of the two famous mosques of Putrajaya. And this is a live background and night show. That is the reason we had a little bit of problem setting up the mic
Mashallah.
and the camera.
You're really particular about everything, mashallah. Not only the contents, but also the background, the lighting, and the mics, mashallah. You put your hand in everything. MashaAllah, it's a pleasure to be working with you and to be hosting you. And you know, there are a lot of people are very excited to hear from you, especially this year, Dr. Zakir, while the whole Ummah is experiencing an unprecedented event. For the very first time, Ramadan without the masajid open, the closure of the masajid has affected the hearts of hundreds of millions of Muslims worldwide. And I believe you have some very nice and soothing words to assure Muslims that even though the masajid are closed, but Ramadan comes to us in our homes and our hearts are open if the doors of the masajid are closed due to the necessity. So I will give you the mic so you can educate us a little bit and lift our spirituality in this respect. Go ahead.
And I do agree with you that it is the first time, mashallah, or I would say as Allah wills, that more than half of the world, the majority part of the world is in lockdown. And the worst part of the lockdown, some say it's economical problem, some say eating problem. For me, the biggest negative impact of the lockdown is the closure of the masajid, where we cannot pray our 5 times congregational salah. And that has been a great loss to us. And we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may He give us this Ramadan much better opportunities. And because of this lockdown, we cannot do certain things in Ramadan. So we pray that the benefits of this lockdown may be better than the negative factors of the lockdown. And the 4 points that I can think which will be a major problem in Ramadan, as far as the lockdown is concerned, because of the closure of the masajid, is that we cannot pray our 5 times congregational salah in the mosque, number 1. Number 2, we will not be able to do our tarawih during Ramadan. Number 3 is that we will not be able to do etikaf, which is to do in the mosque is a fard. And number 4 is that the small percentage of Muslim Ummah which does Umrah during the month of Ramadan, we will not be able to do it. So these are the major 4 factors that I can think of which will be negative impact on our Ramadan. And we have to make the best of it and try and convert it into a positive factor also. And there are positive factors also, which inshallah we'll discuss in this interview.
Yeah, you know, that was going to be my next question, because in the midst of that, you know, for yourself, you're a person who barely rests. But mashallah, even in this lockdown, you're very active. Mashallah, I would say you breathe da'wah. You dream of da'wah whenever you go to sleep. So can you share with us some of the positives that not just yourself have been experiencing during this lockdown, but also the Ummah should focus on those positives out of this lockdown in order to take advantage of them, to turn this calamity and this crisis into a beneficial practice in our life. I would appreciate if you can share with us your thoughts in this regard.
As far as my personal experience is concerned, as far as lockdown is concerned, I normally, because of the day I shifted to Malaysia, I'm operating from home and the office is just next door. So lockdown hasn't caused much change in my schedule, except 2 factors. One factor that, mashallah, no one is coming to meet me. So there I'm saving approximately a couple of hours a day, alhamdulillah. And even the messages I'm receiving on my social media, that the WhatsApp, etc., is reduced. So that is the reason my working hours in hardcore dawah has increased by a few hours, alhamdulillah. As far as the positive factor that all of us Muslims throughout the world can take advantage of the lockdown is that, as I told, the negative factor that we can't do etikaf, because to do etikaf, it's the fard, it should be in the mosque. But I would take it to another extent that, in this isolation of lockdown, we cannot do the technical Sharia type of itikaf, but surely we can come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because we can pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more, we can ask for forgiveness more, we can do dua more. So let this isolation or let this lockdown get us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because of a daily routine that most of us have of going to offices, etc., is not there. So we can spend this much time more, or maybe the more major portion of the time with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our ibadah, in reading Quran, in doing zikr. So this is the positive aspect. We may miss the 10 days of itikaf in the mosque, but if we have one full month of isolation and more time with Allah, inshallah, this may be more beneficial than the 10 days, these 30 days, if we spend correctly and we do more ibadah and we read the Quran and do zikr and do charity. The other aspects are yet open. The lockdown doesn't affect that. So I feel that if you concentrate more on these aspects, inshallah, the net result of this Ramadan will get us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if we do it correctly, inshallah.
Wonderful. Jazakallah khairan. So, Dr. Zakir, as you know, with the lockdown, there are tens of millions of people who have lost their jobs. So, just a couple of weeks ago, these guys were either middle class people having their homes, driving their cars, going to work, earning their living, putting bread on the table, living a stable life. And all of a sudden, things turn upside down. They literally have nothing. So, what is the role of the Ummah, particularly those whom Allah the Almighty blessed with wealth, whether they are business owners, factory owners, or sponsors who have a lot of people, employers who have a lot of people working for them? During this crisis, what can they do from an Islamic perspective, especially during the blessed month of Ramadan, in order to alleviate the suffering and the strain and the adversity that a lot of people are going through?
I do agree with you, Sheikh, that majority of the people in the world, almost all, have got a loss, some less loss, some more loss. But there's a small, very minute percentage of the human beings who are benefiting because of lockdown. For example, I know that some of my friends or businessmen who are in the food industry, they say during such situation, food is a must. Whether it's a war, whether it's peace, they have to have. So these type of businesses flourish more. So my request number one, that though a small percentage of businessmen who are making more profit, they should dedicate this complete extra profit in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, number one. Those businessmen who are big, they are suffering loss, but Allah has blessed them in all these past years, few decades, and they have made millions and billions of dollars. So even though this lockdown may have caused a loss to them of a small percentage, but what Allah has blessed them in the past years, yet they are much above water. So this time they should help the people, the human beings, the Muslims, the non-Muslims around. Besides the compulsory zakat, which is a fard, that is 2.5% in most of the cases of the surplus wealth above the nisab level, I would suggest that they should give more of the donation, of the lillah, above the zakat, as Allah says in the glorious Quran, in Surah Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 261, that if you sow a grain in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will make that into 7 years, each year bearing 100 grains or 100 corn. That means one corn or one grain of yours, Allah multiplies it to 700 times. That is equal to 70,000% profit. 700 times in business terminology is 70,000% profit. So if you spend in the way of Allah, helping your other brothers and sisters of other humanity, whether they be Muslim, whether they be non-Muslim, and seeing to it, you will get 700 times, that is 70,000% profit. And since you are doing in Ramadan, there are various hadiths that say that Allah multiplies your good deeds in Ramadan. So the 700 times, the 70,000% would be multiple times more multiplied. And again, there's a verse in the Quran, that is in Surah Ma'idah, chapter number 5, verse number 32, that if anyone, it is not allowed for you to take anyone else's, if anyone takes the life of any other human being, unless it be for murder or for spreading corruption in the land, it is as though he has killed the whole of humanity. And the verse continues, if you save one human life, it is as though you have saved the whole of humanity. So now, for a rich man, to save a human life is very easy because there are many people who are on the verge of death because of hunger, because of lack of facility, because of losing job. So this is a good opportunity that they can get the sawab. Even if they save one human being, it is as though they saved the whole humanity. So with a small amount, you can save several lives in this situation. So my request to our brothers and sisters is that whatever Allah has given you more than what your requirement is, a percentage of that, whether it's a small percentage or a medium percentage or a big percentage, spend in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will give you multiple times more reward. Taking care of our brothers and sisters in various ways. Some don't have food, some don't have the basic necessities, some don't have a job, etc. So if the more we help, the more inshallah we'll be making the better use of this month of Ramadan.
Dr. Zakir, Jazakallah khairan for the very comprehensive answer. In the field of da'wah, a person like yourself who's a leader and a pioneer, mashallah, may Allah bless you and your entire family. You have been also a victim of the stereotyping and the bashing, which the media is always presenting, bashing and constantly stereotyping Islam and Muslims, particularly the dua, the peaceful preachers like yourself, simply because they invite and they call people to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the past few weeks, all the effort which has been made by channels like Fox News, 700 Club, etc., through the past years to demonize Islam and Muslims and great preachers like yourself and others have, you can say, been vanished through the effort of the Muslims, whether individuals or Muslim organizations in the United States, in Canada, all over Europe. We have seen local people, non-Muslims, fighting over toilet papers, fighting over a pack of bread. But mashallah, on the other hand, whether we here on Huda TV or the mashallah Human Appeal or ISNA and ICNA, all those organizations and all the Islamic centers in North America are providing food, and they're delivering the food packages to their doorstep of the people, irrespective of the religion. They don't ask them whether you're Muslims or not. So we as Muslims were not ourselves immune against the infection. We are suffering like everybody else. And many of us have lost their jobs. But for Muslims to take a part of their saving in this crisis and during this very tough time, and to distribute food packages and to go door to door, risk their lives to get their neighbors and non-Muslims in the neighborhood. How do you perceive this and how do you value it?
MashaAllah, it's a great work, MashaAllah, Muslim Ummah is doing in different parts of the world, whether it be in Malaysia, whether it be in India, whether it be in UK, whether it be in America, whether it be in the Western countries, whether it be in Muslim countries, alhamdulillah. And really, even though the percentage of the Muslims are less in those countries which are majority non-Muslims, we find that Muslims, mashallah, have gone out of the way that besides helping Muslims, they're even helping non-Muslims, and that is very evident in the countries where Muslims are minority. And alhamdulillah, this has really been very good, that though there has been a negative reporting, we'll come to it later on, but majority of it, mashallah, we find that a lot of positive impact has come out, where recently, yesterday, I just heard a talk from the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, who was really praising the work done by the Muslim organization, how they help the people. Even in India, where the situation, they are blaming the Muslims for the spread of the coronavirus, and they are saying coronavirus came to India because of the Muslims, to such extent that they are even not allowing in some parts of India, they aren't allowing Muslims to sell their goods in the vegetable market. And if someone buys, they're forcing them to give it back. Some parts they're really going out of the way. And the mainstream channels in India, they are actually maligning Muslims. And one of the leading channels, you'll be shocked to know, the name is Z News. they said the major cause of the spread of coronavirus in India is Dr. Zakir Naik.
Oof.
Dr. Zakir
Is
Naik,
that
what he
right?
did, he he got
Is
some
this a
Muslim
joke?
Tabligis of Malaysia. No, no, this is the biggest fake news of COVID-19. Dr. Naik got some Muslim Tabligis in Malaysia, and he implanted the coronavirus and sent them to India to spread it. I mean, which logical person would believe in that? In spite of all these hate speeches, etc., yet, and you'll be shocked to know, alhamdulillah, that one of the biggest donors to the Prime Minister for the cause of coronavirus have been Muslims. The, uh, the major pharmaceutical company which is making the vaccine for coronavirus is a company which is owned by Muslims, Cipla. Cipla is owned by Muslims. And now recently I heard, as we got a news yesterday, that there was a Muslim from the Aligarh Muslim University, a doctor, who has developed a rapid test for the COVID-19. So here we find a lot of Muslims in charity. And so we say that if Muslims have spread this, then why are you using the vaccine made by the Muslims? Why are you using the aid used by the Muslims? You know. So the thing is that however much they try and use the media against the Muslims, alhamdulillah, it is Allah's smart, as Allah says in the Quran, that they planned and plotted, Allah to plan, Allah is the blessed.
Subhanallah, it sounds like it's a joke, but this is ridiculous. This is really ridiculous what they're claiming.
But alhamdulillah, there's positive and negative. And do you know what they're saying? They are saying Corona Jihad in India. And the moment they see a Muslim coming with a beard and wearing a cap, there is coronavirus coming close to us. Be careful of it. So they're maligning us. They aren't allowing, in some parts of the country, they aren't allowing Muslims to get admitted into the hospitals. But alhamdulillah, in spite of that, the Muslims are working tirelessly, as you said. And even in India, mashallah, you find that a great deal of social work is done, even among the non-Muslims by the Muslims.
Alhamdulillah wa shukrullah. You know, Dr. Zakir, I just want to shift a little bit from this little bit depressing, reality of how some people are born to hate. They're hate mongers, despite all the good that they see around them. To speak about your interesting personal life a little bit. MashaAllah, I consider myself a family friend. So I consider myself very close to you, and it's an honor, alhamdulillah, shukrullah. For a da'i like yourself, whom, if you allow me to use the term restless, giving da'wah 24/7, how did you find time to raise your kids? You have such beautiful 3 children, 2 girls and 1 boy. MashaAllah, they're all Hafidh al-Quran. And they're studying Islamic studies at the most prestigious Islamic school in the world, mashallah. And they're very good in sports. I mean, I have to be very careful around them. They're all black belts. They're all black belt holders, mashallah. So, the viewers think that those who are in da'wah and the shuyukh, they're leading a very humble life, in a sense that they're not into sports, they're not into fun, they're not into, sending their kids to medical schools or applied sciences. They lead a very low life. I want you to share with the viewers, and I'm sorry I never told you that I would be asking you this question, but I think it is the right of the viewers to know that you have such beautiful 3 children, 2 daughters, and a son, a beautiful son, mashallah, who's following the footsteps of the father. Farid, let me call him now Shaikh Farid, mashallah. And tell us, how did you do it? I mean, how did your children get a black belt in karate or martial arts, memorize the whole Quran, and while you're a very busy man?
I would like to say that number one, whatever little bit my children are, my son Farid and my 2 daughters that are there, Zikra and Rujda, number one, it is by the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His ni'mah, His blessing, without which nothing was possible. So number one is the help of Allah. And after the help of Allah, if the credit goes to a person, it is my wife. My wife, I would give almost all, maybe a small percentage will come to me, but the major credit almost all goes to my wife, because that's the reason that when I chose a life partner, my main criteria was that it should be a daya, and so that my children would, mashallah, would also become daya. So the major credit actually goes to my wife. And initially, when we had planned that there's no Islamic school, not a proper school in Bombay, what should we do? So we had hired a graduate from the Islamic University of Medina and a couple of teachers, thinking we'll give them, home training. They'll go to the convent school. When they come back, they'll be trained at home. But just, and my wife thought that, aren't we being too selfish? That Allah has given us the ni'mah, Allah has given us the wealth, so we can afford to have private teachers, and they go to a normal convent school and they study English, etc. And they come home, we give them the Islamic. But isn't it too selfish? So imagine just within a few weeks, I and my wife, that is in 2001, that's about 19 years before, we thought of, okay, let's start an Islamic school. And knowing very well that starting an Islamic school is a big headache, big burden, taking care of our children, 3 children, much more easier. But we said, let us do for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, let us do for the ummah. And we started a school, and alhamdulillah, we were able to achieve more than what we thought we could by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I would say it's a unique school where, we teach Arabic from the age of 2.5 Lugha Fusha, and a person becomes Hafizul Quran by the time the student reaches 5th standard. His main language is concentrated is English and Lugha Fusha Arabic, along with the local languages. We teach them public speaking, English public speaking from the age of 4, Arabic public speaking from the age of 6. And we teach them Quran, Hadith, Sharia, Fiqh. We teach them comparative religion. We teach them Bible. We teach them Gita, how to converse with a non-Muslim, how to convince him, having question and answer session, having sports. Every student in the school compulsory has to be a black belt. A normal student teaches black belt compulsory. Girl or boy, both of them have to be. They become black belt by 5th or 6th. If they are weak, they become black belt in maybe in 7th standard. But everyone has to be a black belt before they pass the school. They have to do swimming. So we concentrate. So the hours were very long. We consider many things. But with all this, the major benefit was for my family, for me, my wife, and my children. So it's a Venn diagram that when you're doing dawah, I'm taking care of the school. I'm giving indirect time to my children. My wife is doing dawah. She was the principal of the school. So in this way, Allah blessed us. Whatever benefit the other children got, even if I don't count that, the benefit that my 3 children got from this starting Islamic school, though our intention was to help the ummah, not for our children, but Allah multiplied, alhamdulillah, and whatever they have achieved now at this age, at a young age, mashallah, they start giving lectures, Farik at the age of 8, and all 3 of my children, they have got different speciality. Like my son Farik, as you said, I'm not telling you should be like me, you should be better than me, inshallah. He gave public lecture at a young age. He has given in several countries, mashallah, giving lectures to 50,000 people, 100,000 people, alhamdulillah. Allah has blessed him. So as far as my son is concerned, he specialized, mashallah, besides he's doing Sharia, he's doing his bachelor's in Sharia, and only a few months are left before he can get the degree of bachelor's in Sharia. That's from Riyadh, which I consider one of the best Islamic universities in the world, Jamiat al-Imam. And my daughter, like my youngest daughter, mashallah, she's expert with the pen. Her pen is excellent, mashallah. She's excellent in English language because she knows Arabic as a language, and the script is excellent. So she handles, most of the intricate part of my social media is handled by my daughter, Rishda. She's too good. And mashallah, in school, she used to take out mistakes of the teacher. I said, don't do that, please, because that's not nice as a student. So, but alhamdulillah. And my Rishda is my youngest daughter. And Hafiza is excellent. All 3 Hafizul Quran. But my daughter Rishda, mashallah, she can recite the Quran from starting after Fajr and by Asr, just to break for the Salaah. She can finish the Quran without mistake, mashallah. So her Hafiza is much better than my other 2 children. Other 2 children are Hafiz, but they cannot recite any time just from, start till end. If they have to read Taraweeh, some part of the Quran they know very well, maybe 80%, the other they have to revise. But my youngest daughter Rishda, Hafiza is excellent, mashallah, her with the pen. So most of the press releases that I draft out in the press, I first make it in my English, which is not average English. I give it to her, or I give the points, and she professionally, mashallah, the way she writes and the way she puts the Islamic touch is something which is unique. So she has that unique skill.
Inshallah.
And Dikra, my elder daughter, Dikra, my elder daughter, that is there. She's very good with the voice. She's very good with the karat. She's passionate. She has the difference. All three children of mine, they have got different speciality, and all are good in their field. And that's a ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And after Allah, I would like to thank my wife, Farat, mashallah, because of whom, whatever little bit my children, and whatever my success also in the field of dawah is because of my wife. And I'm coming on today on the internet also because of my wife, because I never come on internet. I never go on the social media. She says, no, you have to do now. It's the lockdown, you have to. So, alhamdulillah, she has pushed me for many things.
We all owe your wife. We all owe your wife, mashallah. Couple things, Dr. Zakir, I want to address because to me, I'm representing the viewers here. First of all, is pertaining to your respected and honorable wife. May Allah bless her. There are very few people, especially those who are in da'wah, who would dare to speak about their wife. They call her mastura. Mastura is an old word, and in Arabic means she should be concealed. But, you know, even from an Islamic perspective, this is not true. So you're coming forward to acknowledge your wife, to recognize her effort, and to give her all the credit. And I see a lot of comments now. People are going crazy. Behind every great man, there is definitely a great woman. So thank you so much for being a role model, for acknowledging the sacrifices of your wife, because I'm very certain for a person like you, your wife must have sacrificed a great deal. And also to
much more than me.
While you're busy, Jazakallah khairan, and on behalf of all the ummah, to yourself and to your respected wife, may Allah bless her. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep her in good health and keep you both as the best partners in dunya and inshallah in Jannah. Now with the serious question, it's a tough question. Only if you're ready to take a tough question, yes or no?
Sure, I love tough questions.
I know you're used to tough. I don't know if you're gonna like this tough question. So now we're talking about, you know, Fariq, Zikra, and
Rushda.
Rushda. Let's say that Zikra is the youngest, mashallah. How old is she?
Rushda is the youngest. Rushda is the youngest.
Rushda is the youngest. How old is she?
Yes, she is now 21.
Mashallah. So if Rushda says, Daddy, there is this guy who shows interest and he wants to propose to me, he wants to talk to you, but there's a little problem. You say, Beta, what is it? And she says, he's an Arab, or he's a revert from the USA, or he's coming from Singapore. He's not from India. What are you going to do? How are you going to behave towards that? And I didn't talk about Fariq yet. I'm talking about the youngest daughter, you sweetheart. She says, this guy is showing interest. So how would you actually react, and what stance would you take?
The first thing we have to realize that yet it is preferable, but not a must, that if you marry among the same community, same society, so that the social culture is the same. This is preferable, but not a must at all. What we have to look at, the beloved Prophet said, that when you look for a life partner, you look for four things. One is beauty, second is wealth, third is nobility, and fourth is virtue. And amongst all these, virtue is the best. So if the person is virtuous, all the other factors are zero. If you get someone like anywhere who's close to the Sahaba, he may be the most poorest man in the world. He may be the most ugliest man in the world. He may not be coming from a noble family, but if he has the quality anywhere close to a Sahaba, there is no option. It would be the biggest gift for my daughter and for us. So main thing is the virtue. So when you look for a life partner, what we have to see that if the virtue is high, the higher the virtue is, the other things can be sacrificed. But if a person who is not virtuous at all, and as he's not following the main pillars of Islam, not praying, etc., and then whether he's an Indian or a foreigner makes no difference. It is useless. So what we have to look into it, and believe me, to check virtue is the most difficult. To check beauty, you can see and you can decide whether handsome or not. To check the wealth, you can check the bank balance, you can come to. Nobility also, you can see the tree. Virtue is the most difficult. You can do negative testing. That means, for example, if you want to know whether a girl is virtuous, if she is wearing a mini skirt, she's not virtuous. But if she's wearing a hijab, doesn't mean that she's virtuous. There are chances she'll be virtuous. So checking the quality of a virtuousness in an individual is very difficult. Coming back to a question, if my daughter comes and says that a proposal has come, I feel my daughter herself is quite matured enough to know the good and the bad points. And believe me, we have discussed this issue of marriage for many years, and we are very free. And all of us are open to it in discussion. If she comes to know of a boy who is a virtuous Muslim boy, irrespective of the other criteria, and if she gets that or gives information, I will do my way of checking what I can, and then give my advice. And if the person turns out to be virtuous, even if it's an Arab, no problem at all. Because the beloved Prophet Muhammad said, an Arab is not superior to a non-Arab. None is a non-Arab superior to an Arab. Neither is a white superior to a black, neither a black over a white. That factor of in the same society is benefit of a very small percentage. But the virtue is the highest. And that's what we looking for the wife, for the life partner. And that's what I looked in for my life partner. But naturally, my criteria at that time was less, and I could not find anyone. So for my wife, I had to go to another city, and believe me, I did not. Many proposals came to me. I did not interview a single girl in my life for marriage. When I got, it was mainly my sister who was seeing the criteria, and when she found one girl in Pune, which is about 160 kilometers from Bombay, so the first girl I interviewed, Alhamdulillah, and Allah gave me the best wife that I could find. Alhamdulillah.
Lucky you, mashallah, lucky you, alhamdulillah. And may Allah grant your children great spouses to follow the footsteps and to be even better than yourself, inshallah azza wa jal. Dr. Zakir, I hope you're not upset that we brought up the family matters, because
no problem at all.
Family,
my life is an open book.
Yeah, I believe your family is my family. And actually, the viewers and people do have rights upon us. They want to know, how do we live our lives? How do we socialize? Do we have a social life at all? Or we're constantly traveling from one place to another? As a matter of fact, the crisis that we're living in right now, I was scheduled to meet your good self a couple of weeks ago. But alhamdulillah, for Allah knows, for whatever reason, maybe it is for the best of everyone, Allah postponed that visit. But it brought to our attention the fact of the matter that the world has become a small village. And while the people who are propagating evil, that are using the technology, the social media, and the internet to spread the evil, we as Muslims and as dua, those who truly believe in the oneness of Allah, and those who want to spread and share the goodness with people, should take advantage of these facilities more than anybody else. So, alhamdulillah wa shukrulillah, now we're meeting. You're in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. That's several hours flight away from me. And the viewers in Japan, several hours away from you. In the States, likewise. Some flights would take 16 and 20 hours just to meet in person. We're meeting, alhamdulillah, virtually, and we're not missing anything. I want you to give a word of advice to the viewers and to myself as how to benefit out of this advanced technology, which is not, it's not exclusive for certain people now. Even the youngsters, my 6 years old knows how to use the social media. Everybody knows how to, but we want to direct it for Muslims to be utilized in good causes. 5 months ago, when we started the Huda Chat platform, electronic da'wah, and I announced on my page that I'm looking for volunteers. 435 people turned in. We trained a few of them, and alhamdulillah, shukrullah, with less than 100 da'i, we have in 5 months over 2,050 new Muslims. And all of that is done entirely electronically, online, alhamdulillah, shukrullah. So I just gave you a little background of our case, and I would like for you to share with the viewers that it is not only the duty of Zakir Naik. Zakir Naik has taken his share. Dr. Zakir Naik has devoted his life, and Yusuf Estes and Sheikh Ahmed Didat, may Allah have mercy on him. every family, every Muslim family must have Zakir Naik. So if you can just give us, your insight in this respect, I will appreciate that.
Regarding your main question that how can you use this technology that has advanced in the last few years and few decades, and we are in a different age altogether. And this is what I always advise my Muslim brothers, my dais, that unfortunately, as far as the Muslims are concerned, we are very backward with the media. And I've given a similar talk maybe 10 years back on how backward we are with the satellite. And satellite media was number one in the world, and yet I consider it to be number one. And now the social media is catching up. As far as social media is concerned, in the limited knowledge that I have of the Muslims doing dawah on social media, I feel that they are underutilizing it. And our Muslim duats, I'm sorry to say, they are not specialized in this field of social media. That's the reason if you see a singer, the amount of followers they have on the Facebook, I feel a religious person should have more. Why should we be behind? If you see today, the number one person on the Facebook, any personality, it is a football player. Football player Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. Then it's Lady Gaga. He has got I think last I saw was 139 million.
You're following exactly, mashallah, Dr. Zakir.
Not following, what I do, I see which are the top 10 in the world. I've never seen, just now, 3 days back, I saw the photograph of Lady Gaga because there was a video that came on COVID-19 and how the main celebrities of the world, and that's the first time I saw the photograph. I don't know how she looks, but I'm aware that she's number two. I'm not into music.
You're following the followers of the different people and the peak and who has a greater followers. Now,
what we do, we have in our organization, when Bombay we had more than 500 staff, here we have only 2 staff. But then I keep a tab on which are the top people in the world, which politicians are top having the followers on the social media, what are the other people, who's the top 50 in India, who's the top 50 in the world, so that we can see how did that track. We can even learn from the people who are doing haram activities. What I feel that if people are going for the haram, like when I used to see the Grammy Award, the way they organize their function is excellent. The Grammy Award, the Oscar Award. Then the idea came to me, why don't we have a peace conference somewhat similar to that? People thought I was crazy. Yes, we spent an amount, but the amount of reach, the amount we spent was peanuts. So we did the largest English Islamic conference in the world in Bombay, where more than 1 million people came. The stage was set up, and Bollywood being number 2 in the world, they were shocked that how could an Islamic function be so grand with the best of lighting, with the best of technology. When we did our Dawah training program, we broke a world record of shooting on 4K and 8K cameras 40. So coming back to your question of social media, I feel, I'm very sorry to say, if little bit training is given to our dais, their reach will be multiple times more. So I'm shocked that they are spending so much time. I say, don't spend so much time. Spend 10% of the time and spend 10% on technology. Your reach will be multiple times more. So the thing is, quality is more important than quantity. There was a time when I used to give 8 lectures a day. Now we just give few lectures a month, but the reach is big. So similarly now, the reason I was not there on the social media, according to me, social media reach is very less as compared to the satellite. Now social media is increasing. And one more thing that I have to tell, that the numbers on the social media, Shaikh, it is a deception. And I give my example, so I'm not criticizing any other time. I'll give my example, so no one can say I'm criticizing. For example, I had a talk yesterday, live for the first time, organized by our own organization, Peace TV. We didn't have the beautiful 8K cameras. We used the iPhone, and the setting was at home. And by the time the program ended, the 1.5 hour program, 2.8 million reach. People
MashaAllah.
No, Shaikh, not MashaAllah.
MashaAllah. 2.8 million?
No, that's only in 1.5 hour. But again, it's a deception, I said. It's a deception. Why? I'm only talking about one media. Yesterday, we were on various platforms. We were on Peace TV English, Peace TV Urdu, Peace TV Bangla, Peace TV Chinese, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, as well as on Twitter. So we were on 4 social media and 4 satellite channels. Coming with the Facebook, 2.8 million people. That's the reach. It's a deception. People that saw are 911,000. In this 1.5 hour, 911,000 saw. But I know it is not a correct figure. It's a deception. It is 911,000 people who saw more than 2 seconds.
Mm.
How many people saw more than 1 minute? 181,000. I'm giving you the statistics. Total people all put together that saw is 982,000 minutes. Then I divide this number by to 90 minutes. The full program was for 90 minutes. So if I divide this full figure, 982,000 by 90 minutes, I get a total of 10,600 or something. People saw full. Fine, sitting at the home, 10,000 people seeing full. But the 2.8 million figure is a deception. Now it may have multiplied. So when someone comes and tells me, oh, doctor, my program, 100,000 came. So I just divide, I make it 0.1%. 100,000 means actual people that I've seen, maybe 100 or maybe 10. You see it? So Facebook is a big deception. Satellite, for anyone to be a viewer of satellite, you have to see minimum 3 minutes. This is a survey of, various organizations, like Time Report. Some organizations agree for 2 minutes. Because when you are surfing a channel, you normally stay for only 2-3 seconds. Sometimes you may stay for maybe half a minute. So if you stay for more than 3 minutes, that means you're watching the program.
Yeah.
If you stay for more than 3. So in Facebook, to give a deception, they even count 2 seconds, which is not done in the satellite. So people have a false notion that, mashallah, I gave talk to 2.8 million. Others come and say, I gave talk to 100,000. I
the reality is different.
So the thing is that a Dai should know. Like if you go on YouTube, the average watch of my program was 1 minute. Other programs, when I give a lecture of 3 hours, it was 27 seconds. In the YouTube, the people that saw was more than 54,000, but the average watch was 5 minutes. So the views on the YouTube have a bigger percentage as compared to Facebook. But Facebook is more. Facebook is used by 2.5 billion people in the world today. I say MUV. So what is MUV? They don't know. Monthly unique viewers. So if you don't know, so the reach of the Facebook in social media is the maximum. Then you have the YouTube. Then you have the WhatsApp. Same as Facebook and Instagram, having more than 1 billion. YouTube is 2 billion reach. WhatsApp is 1.8 billion. Then if you go to Instagram, it is more than 1 billion. So these are MUV, means monthly unique viewers or monthly unique followers. So because we don't know the reality of social media, we are there on the social media, but still the reach is very less.
MashaAllah, Dr. Zakir, you do all the math and you keep all of that in mind. Allahu Akbar, MashaAllah, may Allah bless you. And I guess that would lead me to say, so shall we expect the peace convention very soon, virtually online, inshallah?
Sorry, I didn't hear your question, Shaikh.
I said, out of all of that, can we expect a peace convention, but online?
Online? Online peace convention will not be the same impact as actual one. But that's the cost. I personally would not feel it would be that impactful. They're having so many conventions, so many conferences. I just saw a convention, 30 speakers, 20 speakers. And I just logged in to see.
But the peace convention is going to be different. Dr. Zakir, I see that you need to grab a drink. You're having sore throat. You've been talking all day, and it's already midnight your time or past midnight. But the toughest question,
but I'm awake most of the day and night.
Alhamdulillah. The toughest question I have, all the viewers are asking, when is the next time?
Next time, sorry, I didn't hear after that. Next time?
For another live interview. They're asking, when is the next time? I'm holding. Let me tell you this. The calls have been coming. I'm not answering any call. I'm not taking any calls or any questions from online, just because, I thought I will, in the first place, in the first meeting, I would share with the viewers many things that they would love to know about yourself and your blessed family, and some general advices. But You owe us. So the viewers are asking, when is the next time, if you would allow?
Inshallah, after Ramadan. When I
After
cannot say,
Ramadan.
because what I feared, Sheikh, is that, as I told you earlier, that as far as the request for public lectures, when I left my office in 2016 in Bombay, there were more than 5,000 invitations for a physical lecture for me pending outside India.
That means we're
5,000.
really lucky. MashaAllah.
So, so that's the reason I never had any online lectures, because if I allow online, it will be multiple times more than physical lectures. And every year this balance is increasing. I used to go to maybe only few countries a year. So, and I know the impact of a physical lecture is much more. So I prefer a physical lecture. And online, as I told you, that it was Shaikh Yasir Qadi who, like you, also
I would
respected.
like to admit to the viewers that it was only a couple days ago when I had a chat with Dr. Zakir, and I said I would like to host you, and he said despite the fact that there is a long queue of over 5,000 requests, but I
No,
wouldn't
that's
say
for the
no
public
to it.
lectures.
Yes,
That's for public lectures. And the
so
online Sheikh, I haven't kept it open, even not allowing, already have so many requests. And many of them are very close friends, the elder to me, like you,
but
there are other duas.
Dr. Zakir, Dr. Zakir, none of them is like me, so that's why he said
Of
yes.
course, you are special. No, your one advantage was that because social media, there is satellite attached to it.
Thank
Huda
you
TV.
so much.
And
Wallahi,
and
that means
and
a lot to
and
me.
and Huda TV, I'm part of Huda TV.
Of
So because
course.
of that, I could not refuse. So the only three people I've refused, I mean, the only three people I accepted out of the 100 requests I got for Ramadan, one is Sheikh Yasir Qadi, one is yourself, and the third is Yadim, which is the main government Dawa organization of Malaysia. Malaysia has been my host, so I couldn't refuse them. So I only accepted three, and I've agreed to give on my own satellite and my own social media twice a week in the month of Ramadan. That
Allahu
is
Akbar.
nine programs. Nine
Excellent.
programs. So the
Excellent.
first one was yesterday. So every Saturday and Tuesday, that is 9:30 GMT, that is 5:30 Malaysia time. Egypt time would be 6 hours. That would be about 11:30. Saudi time is
Yeah,
about
it
12:30.
was actually 12 noon, and inshallah, every live show of yours will be aired live. We'll take the live streaming, inshallah, we'll put it on your channel, Huda TV.
Inshallah. So what we did, that because I'm putting that effort of giving, what I initially, it was only Facebook, then I added YouTube to it, then I added Instagram, Twitter, and then the final thing was Peace TV. Because we didn't have the equipment to put on Peace TV, so finally we got hold of some equipment, and we got the broadcaster. Now we're getting the LU, because I believe the quality should be there, and that LU live view would be coming very soon, so that the reach is bigger. The satellite reach is much bigger. So again, irrespective whether 900, about a million people saw, out of which it come, but at least the Peace TV viewership is there. So I don't want my effort to be less in terms of reach. So that's the reason when I added Peace TV, I felt very happy. Okay, fine.
Alhamdulillah.
At least
Alhamdulillah.
millions, if not bigger, at least minimum 5 million will watch. Minimum.
So talking
Because the
about,
reach of the Peace TV English reach is 100 million, mashallah. But not that everyone comes on the program. If it's a very popular program on the prime time, the reach goes to about 5 to 7, 8 million. Other times it is less. If it's not a popular program, it can go down to as low as 10,000. And these are real figures, not figures what many of the people say, because we have done survey, we paid money for it. So we have the statistics of the world. But naturally, a major, what we have to understand, that many a time people go on the social media and they concentrate on parts where English is not spoken. So the number one English spoken in the world by the Muslims in the world is in India. The maximum number of Muslim people in the country that speak English, number one is India.
India.
Then would be Bangladesh, then would be Nigeria, then would be Pakistan. Fine, you concentrate on European countries, but the reach is not there. So the thing is that if you do not cover these countries, the maximum number of Facebook users in the world is which country? It's not USA, it is India. The Facebook users of USA is only 130 million. The Facebook users of India are 260 million, close to double. USA is 180 million, sorry. Again, so if the people don't know where the people watch, and the people are beaming a satellite, a language where people don't watch. So people don't do survey, proper survey. If you're doing a particular social media, some types of social media are more popular in the Gulf country, Arab countries, some social media are more popular. So first we
True.
have to do a survey that if you're going on Facebook, what is your main purpose? If you're going on YouTube, what is your main purpose? If you're going on Twitter, what is your purpose? So unfortunately, we Muslim guys aren't as specialized as the non-Muslims. The non-Muslim guys, they have got a bigger number of followers. If you see on the Facebook, why? Because they're using technology. Our thing, min Allah, from Allah. Oh, no problem. So we don't follow the verse of the Quran. Fasalu al zikrin talamin. Surah Nahl chapter 60 verse 43. That ask the person who's an expert. So what we should do, I always tell them, in the satellite, make less programs of quality, the reach is bigger than more programs of less quality. Same with the Facebook. Same with the other things. You have a proper graphic, let the people appreciate it, the reach will be bigger. So this you think, we are doing for sake of Allah. We aren't doing for a personal, glorification. But when we do for sake of Allah, Allah helps you, Allah elevates you, Allah makes you, people accept you, alhamdulillah. So even though we have shifted from Bombay to Malaysia, and our focus now has gone more onto the social media for other reasons than other things, alhamdulillah, we are striving in that field. So if we strive, you have to get success, Allah promises. So if every guy does a little bit of research, what is the difference between streaming of a normal software and a specialized software? What's the difference in clarity? What's the difference? So what natural, your whole impact of dawah. And even non-Muslim, when they see a program which is not very clear, it is very shabby, the background is not there, it is blurred, how will he accept the message? If it is very clear, the audio is clear, the visual is clear, and the people are presentable, the background is good, the graphics are good, it attracts. We Muslims should be the best, and we are the best, alhamdulillah. So you use the technology in the right way, whether it be social media, whether it be the satellite, whether it be the print media. I feel if we give quality, we go more for quantity than quality. Go for quality, quantity will follow you, inshallah.
Dr. Zakir, by the end, I can't but thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us this opportunity to meet with you and to share with the viewers some very important and useful insights of you. May Allah bless you and your family. I wish you all the best. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you Jannat al-Firdaus. May Allah keep you and us and all of us steadfast on His straight path. We'll be looking forward for further meetings, inshallah, and we'll respect your usually you say it after Ramadan, but inshallah we'll be meeting with you.
The reason, Shaykh, I said after Ramadan because I've done my personal ibadah also. Yes. This is the month of Ramadan. I cannot, dawah we're doing the full year, alhamdulillah. So inshallah, after Ramadan, inshallah, we will meet again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zakir. Please convey my salam and the salam of all the viewers to your respected family. May Allah bless you all. My dear viewers, thank you so much for following us. And inshallah, after Ramadan, we'll be having further meetings with the respected Dr. Zakir and others. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of us happy and blessed Ramadan to all of you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.